Okay, so this is my 2021 GR Yaris. It's got 2,000 miles on it. I use it every day, so personally I'm not going to be looking for something that's super loud, but there are people that will, so hopefully we'll cater to everyone today. So if we go underneath it, this is how the stock system works at the moment. We have a standard cat that is just out of sight up here. There are options to decat that. I know Miltech do one. We have this here. A lot of people think it's a secondary cat. It's actually a GPF, gasoline particulate filter, and that's exactly what it is. It's a filter to catch the soot. So we're going to be trying them with and without this delete in place. Moving further back, this is the section where all of these exhausts start from. So this is you might think of it as a cat back, but they're actually a GPF back system. We've got a small mid box here to take out some of the drone. And moving back, we've got a 1:2 split with quite a big rear silencer here. Moving on to two exhaust tips. Okay, so we're about to remove the standard system off my GR Yaris. It's going to be the same process for every single one. And we're going to be removing it from this point here backwards. This is the joint to the GPF here. We've got two 14mm nut and bolts here. We've got one rubber hanger. And then the rest of this is it's all in one piece here on this one. We've got a rubber hanger just at the top here. Another one on the other side. What's nice about removing this, it's really easy to do on your drive because everything goes underneath. A lot of cars, the exhaust might come over the rear suspension, but not on these, so it should be a really quick process. Ideally get a friend or someone just to help you lift this box down, because I imagine this box is going to be a little bit heavy. But other than that, it's as simple as that, so we're ready to go. So there we have the standard system, and what's nice about this as well is the internet tells me it will fit in the back of the car, so if you're taking it somewhere to get your exhaust fitted, you're not going to have to worry about taking it home again afterwards. The Scorpion system here is a slip fit system. It's going to be a bit basic for anyone that's ever fitted an exhaust before. But we generally get two types of joints. We get slip fit like these, where you just have a slightly swaged pipe here, it slides over the top and then clamps on. Or we get a flange joint, like we've got at this end, to join to the standard system. So some of the systems we've got here are flange, some of them are slip fit, but for this one we're just going to put it together loosely on the ground, get it up on the hangers, make sure it's happy, and then tighten everything up so it's all nice and straight. So yeah, it's nice and far away from everything important. It looks like it's going to move and it's going to hit, so I'm happy with that. We'll tighten this flange up first to make sure that's aligned and happy, and then we'll just sort of work our way backwards. Align these, get them tightened up, get the tips on, and then we're away. So all in all, once the standard system's off, it's probably less than 20 minutes before it's all bolted up. And that's it, we're done. We're just going to fire it up and check it for leaks like you should with any exhaust. And it's as simple as that.
First impressions?
Yeah, fits really well. I'm really happy with how sort of the distance between the anti-roll bar here, because if we move this exhaust around as much as it's ever likely to, it doesn't hit anything, even though it's quite a bit bigger than the standard exhaust in terms of, you know, pipe diameter here. So yeah, it's nice and far away from the heat shield, so we shouldn't get any annoying buzzing or rattling or vibration that, you know, that we're not expecting. So
okay, so the next up on our list to do are these Scorpion GPF delete pipes. These retail at £295, and hopefully they'll add a little bit more pizzazz to the exhaust note. Matt will be able to tell you a little bit more about what they do and what a GPF is.
yeah, so on a lot of modern petrol turbos, Yaris included, we've got a GPF, which is a gasoline particulate filter. Sometimes also called a PPF, petrol, or OPF, Otto. All means the same thing, and it's just a filter that catches soot in the exhaust. So it's not a cat, it's not a secondary cat like a lot of people look underneath it and think it is, even though it looks the same. So you're not going to get any worse gaseous emissions by fitting one of these. So yeah, I think there's a fair restriction in there, so we should see a little bit more power, and we should definitely hear a little bit more noise coming out the back. So we have a clamp to fit the two sections together. We've got a gasket that goes between the end of the pipe here and the cat. And the only thing we've got here is a boss, which is for the secondary O2 sensor, just to make sure that the cat's working. And that's it. It's a really simple thing. You can fit it along with your standard exhaust. It's a really cheap way of getting all the power benefits of a catback exhaust, or most of the benefits of a catback exhaust, without really increasing your noise, if that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah, let's pop this on the car. We're going to put this on the quietest exhaust and the loudest exhaust, just to see how it benefits different exhaust systems. So
yeah, just to give an idea of what sort of effect it has on a quiet exhaust, what effect it has on a loud exhaust. And
yeah, let's crack on with that.
Right, so the next thing we're going to do is take the GPF off. This is the mid section, if you like, or the B pipe if you're a Honda guy like me. It runs from this flange here all the way through here to the join with the cat up there. You can just about see the join there. So the first step we're going to be doing is taking this under tray slash heat shield off. We're also just going to take this little brace off underneath just to make it easier to lift it out of the way. The only sensor we've got plugged into this is a secondary O2 sensor here. So what a lot of on diesels you'll get a pre and post filter pressure sensor, and that'll check whether the filter is blocked or not. These don't have that, so you're not going to put a light on your dash by removing this. It's all fit and forget. So now we can get a better look at the joint of the cat, which is just there. We've got 2 bolts, which should be fairly easy to get to. Just got to unplug this sensor here, take it off with it, and then take it off. So this will most likely be a 22mm open-ended spanner, where you can get specific sockets to get these off. Once these cars start getting on a bit, this is something that's going to be a bit of a pain to undo. So make sure you can get that off before you go much further. So yes, it is 22, so now that it's cracked off, we know that nothing else is going to stop us on this installation, short of perhaps those 2 bolts to the cat if the car was a little bit older. And there we have it. So, as I said before, it's not a secondary cat, even though it looks like a cat. It's just a filter. I don't think we can see quite down it, but if we could, you'd just see like a matrix or a brick is what it's called, of just tiny little squares. It doesn't really look like a cat at all. Right, so just got the Scorpion GPF-Delete out of the box. Just popped it together. Always remember to put your clamp on first. I'm just going to offer it up. So that's how it's going to sit. It's quite a bit wider than the factory GPF pipework, but got a little bit of adjustability to do on the back here. We'll just probably pull that away a little bit. But at the moment we've got the GPF back exhaust removed. You don't have to do that. You can fit this with the exhaust in place, but since we were swapping exhausts anyway, it's quicker and easier for us to show you just on its own. Right, so now that we've got it bolted up to the cat, we'll put the quietest GPF back exhaust that we've got, which is the Fujitsu. We'll put that on here, and we'll tighten it up on here before we tighten this clamp here, just to make sure that we've got the right length. And then we'll pop all the under tray and this brace back together, along with the post-cat O2 sensor in there.
Mm-hmm.